Evening, everybody, and welcome to the Rangers Journal podcast. I'm delighted to be joined tonight by a wee bit of a mixed pod. And Ibrox, so he's not in a call tonight, thankfully. I think, am I coming across okay? Aye, can you hear me all right, lads? Because I feel as if I've got some technical difficulties on the go here.
On my side, you're frozen, mate.
You're frozen. Right, okay.
I can hear you, but you're frozen.
Right, hold on. Anyway, Stevie, how are you getting on, mate?
Good, mate. Thank you. Yourself? Good evening, everybody.
Aye, hanging together. How are you feeling after last night?
A wee bit flat, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. We never perform, so you know, we need to take the positives with it and move on quickly. 10 cup finals to come, so just bounce back straight away. Nothing else for it.
That's it, mate. That's it. And then we've got Curry guesting tonight on Stan's Ibrox. Curry, thanks for coming on, mate. How you doing?
No bother, mate. You're very much welcome. I'm all right, mate. Last night was, as Stevie said there, it was a wee bit disappointed, but even before the game, I think we already had said that it was anything we did was a bonus. So I'm not really that bothered, to be honest with you. Would it be good to get through? Aye, of course it would. But I'm no first. I'm absolutely no first at all. So all the gloating for the teams, for the fans, for other teams is like what if a duck's back, really.
Aye, definitely. I'd need to agree on that. I think the general consensus on it is the league was more important this season anyway, wasn't it, Stevie?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like I would have loved to be in that draw this morning. As soon as you're out, you lose interest. I mean, I was driving home earlier on when I heard the draw, and I was like, well, it's 4 o'clock. I haven't even thought about it. So don't get me wrong, it'd been great to stay in. But yeah, obviously the league, hopefully the Scottish Cup as well, that's obviously the priority. If you're going back maybe, 4 or 5 months, if you say to us, you'll still be playing European football in March, we probably wouldn't have believed it. So it's been essentially, it's been a real bonus to get this far this season with kind of what Philip Clement's inherited.
Aye, definitely. And as the title says, we're looking at a bigger picture. So Curry, obviously, Clement comes in, takes in a Rangers team that's 7 points behind. We're not doing well in European football. Team's not really playing that well. A wee bit of perspective, I think last 16 of Europa League and Tapia League by 2 points is pretty decent, isn't it?
Right, well, I've said this a few times, and I said it in my own pods as well, and I think I'm going to be talking for every Rangers fan now. It's not very often I can say that, because usually folk don't agree with me, but you go back to October 2023 and you say to any Rangers fans that you'll be sitting 2 points at the top of the league, you will have already picked up a cup, and you're into a semi-final in the Scottish Cup, and you get the last 16 Europa. They'll look at you as if you've been talking to your dealer, basically. It was the performance that Timmy Clement's done with the players that he was left with, and I think last night was the epitome of where we fell short last night. Was people that, I hate saying his name, Bill has brought in, left the team with, guys we get rid of when they shouldn't have been rid of. And I'm absolutely ecstatic. No there yet. I'll tell you at the end of the season whether I'm ecstatic about what's happened. But not one Rangers fan can complain. And as I said, I think I can speak for everybody.
Aye, I probably need to agree with you there. I think last night's match was probably just one too far for Rangers, wasn't it, Stevie, in terms of fitness, injuries. I think everything just kind of caught up with us last night, and it's cost us a game.
Yeah, I agree with Curry 100%. I'll not repeat his name, but yeah, it kind of reminded me of his performance, previous manager. It was a wee bit clunky, just a bit disjointed. Decision making was just, I thought Benfica's goal was a kind of perfect illustration of kind of, what went wrong last night. You know, Dessers is trying to turn into about 9 bodies, and Lundstrom's at the edge of the box screaming for it. He's got 5-6 yards of space. He's just screaming for the ball. Lay it back, lay it back. He can get a shot off, ping it wide. But Dessers doesn't think. He thinks he's like Michael Moe at his peak, where he can spin a 5-pence. He can't do that. He loses the ball, and they have like a couple of precision passes, perfect timing with his runs, the Benfica boy, and they score. You know, it's that one kind of mistake, but we gave the possession away last night so many times, especially in that second half. It cost us. But yeah, I agree. We just looked like we ran out of ideas. Maybe a wee bit tired in the legs, but yeah, it's still enough there to say, right, we'll go again. But I felt flat last night, but at the same time, what Curry just said, it's like I also feel quite buzzing for the rest of the season. This is the business end. This is where it really counts. So yeah, they've got it all to play for. So yeah, it's quite an exciting time.
Right, definitely. Corey, I'm going to come on to you on corners, mate. Out-swinging corners again last night. No, it's an out-swinging corner that the Dessers is dilly-dallied on the ball, and ultimately he's lost it. There's errors after that. I'm not blaming Dessers for the goal at all, but he does lose possession. Tries to skin 4 guys when he can't skin 4 guys. It's not Real Betis he's playing, and he's not having a run at them. He was trying to skin them in the box. And Benfica break up the park and score. What do we do about these corners?
Well, I promised you that I'd be my best behaviour tonight, mate. Because you know what my pod's usually like. And it's probably a good thing that I'm on here and number one pod, because that would have been my rant.
Aye.
You've been on my pod a few times, mate. How many times have we spoke about this? It's the same. I don't know if these stats are right, but I seen the stat that I did see. We've had this season. We've had 138 corners. Out of the 138 corners, I think there's 12 been in-swingers. For these 12 in-swingers, we've scored 2 goals. For the rest of them, we've scored 2 goals. So that's 4 goals over the season in corners. That says everything about what's wrong with our set-up plays. And it's the same all the time with any dead ball situations. It's the same with free kicks as well. It's not just corners. Unless it's within range of Tav putting in a screamer, which probably I'll say 7 out of 10 times he will do. That's his, for me. That's Tav's one saving grace, because you know I'm not that fussy on Tav at all. I'm one of the few now. I used to be one of the many, but I'm one of the few now that don't like Tav in here. But we've been going on about it time and time again. Now, I think it was last week somebody in the presser said about this, about the corners, and bringing in an actual coach for corners, and he basically says he doesn't like that he wants to do it. Well, I think he might be the one place where he's failing, because we need to do something pretty soon on the corner situation or dead ball situations, because there's just no enough invention. There's not enough creativity. We need to get a bit more variation. Well, I don't know if that was you, Scotty. I heard a noise here. But it's something we need to look at, mate. It's something maybe during the summer, once Clement's in and they spend some time, maybe then everything will change. Obviously, we'll get ready to hopefully get ready players that we need to get play. Just a wee comment there for Hugo Blair there. Says Scotty is a black screen save. He goes, unfortunately, he couldn't find a lipstick to match his top tonight. So he didn't want to actually come on. So don't believe anything else anybody else says to you. You just could.
Corey, see on that. Could you hold the fort to quickly restart and try and fix this? I think you're on mute, mate. This is a riot.
Can you not hear me, mate?
No. You're all right to hold it to a restart quickly?
Aye, sure, mate. Sure.
Right, cool. Cheers.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you're talking about the finest margins, and if we can get that better, it's going to make a difference. Like you said, be more goals. And look at, is it Liverpool? They've got that McPhee. They've got like a throw-in coach. You know what I mean? It's like, do it. If they're not doing it well enough, get somebody in who's going to make them better. Because at the end of the day, you're going to improve. So just get it better. Common
Right.
sense.
I was going to say, did you watch the Hearts game, Stevie, by any chance?
Yes.
Did you see that? I don't know. I can't remember the boy's name. The guy from Morton with the throw-in.
Oh, aye.
Throws them in like corners.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I wish we had something that could do that, mate.
It's just, you know what I mean? It's like every single advantage, take it. You know what I mean? Just improve it. You're right, though. Clement probably said, I don't need that because he obviously believes in himself, which is fair enough. But they need to do something soon because those stats are quite stark. Did you say 138 corners?
Aye.
12 in-swingers, 2 goals.
Aye.
And 2 out-swingers.
Another 2 goals have came for the out-swingers. And I think only one of them was a direct goal, right, for the it was like second phase for the the other one. So it's something that obviously Clement must know about.
Yeah.
And it gets changed. You were talking about the goal there, Stevie.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the game, Alan McCoy had mentioned it a couple of times about the way we were setting up.
Yeah.
The 2 or 3 times he said that we were awfully high and there was nobody hanging back. Would you reckon, was that something that Clement's set out, or is it something that's been on field? And if so, I read enough with I was going to say maybe Clement should have told him, but with the Ibrox crowd last night, be lucky if you could hear anything.
True. I mean, they stuck with it, so it must have been, that must have been instruction before the game. So, it was very strange. That was a weird call, but trying to win the game, I suppose. Maybe he was trying to, I don't know, bring them on and then counter against them because obviously last week in Lisbon, the onus is on them, so it suited us for that transition. We were so good on the break, we were so quick, we were so intricate, whereas last night, they sat in, so we have to push onto them, and it makes it more difficult for us, and then they can pick us off. So I don't know if he was trying to counter that in some way, but yeah, let's hope we didn't do that again, because when you're playing against pace, that can kill you.
How are you doing now, Scotty? Everything sorted out, mate?
I think I'm all right, pal. Thank you. I bought a Chromebook midweek to see if it would be a better camera and see just something to like take away me, carry about. And it's not working. It's not worth the money I've paid for it, to be honest with you. So we'll touch upon the tiredness in the team just now. We've all done predicted lineups for a night. There's been some changes to every lineup, I think. So we've got plenty to get into for the kind of last half of the pod. But I looked at players last night. I looked at John Lundstrom in the first half. Carl, come to you with us, mate. Looked at John Lundstrom in the first half and I seen a guy making errors. And I think he wasn't even, I was doing my local Rangers club and he wasn't even getting pelters for it. It was just everybody was saying he's tired. He's tired, the guy's shattered. What did you make of the team's kind of general fatigue last night? Do you think they did look tired? Do you think that's what's ultimately cost us a tie?
Well, first 20 minutes, I thought we were played really well in the first 20 minutes. Lawrence had a couple of good chances. I thought he was playing well, but after about 20 minutes, mate, about 80% of the team are blowing out their backside. If you look at Goldson was struggling, Diamandi was struggling, Lunny was struggling. Dessers ran a bit like he usually does and does nothing. We'll talk about him probably later on, mate. I'll tell you one guy that I thought done brilliant, and you'll be shocked to hear this. The first half, at least anyway, I thought Tavernier had an absolute blinder in defence. I thought, I know.
I'll go and look at my window and see if a pig just flew by, mate. Did you just say Tavernier had a good game?
The first half, I said. Don't take it too far. But the first half, I thought, I really did think he had a really, really good game. But second half, I thought he fell away a wee bit. And his passing in the second half was pretty shocking. So I'm going to balance it out. But first half, absolute blinder in defence. Who else? Yilmaz was as effective as he usually is. I'm trying to think. Up front was where it cost us, mate. We could have been playing for 300,000 minutes last night, and we wouldn't have scored with the guys we had up front. I'm pretty sure I speak for a lot of people not all, but most people, when that starting 11 came out and they seen Dessers up front and then got right on, I think that, well, for me especially, I was optimistic. I was like, oh, I hope we maybe do it. But as soon as I see Scott Wright and Dessers, that was me. I went like, nah, it was good while it lasted.
I probably need to agree with that. Although I thought Scott Wright didn't have a bad game, to be fair to him. I thought he tried to carry the ball. I think the chance that Dessers was offside for was about 2 feet offside. Scott Wright drove it to defence and managed to slide it through to him.
It was a long pass, though. You should have put that right. You should have put it to, I think it was Tav was on the overlap.
Was it Tom Lawrence? Was it Tom
Lawrence? Was it? He made the wrong pass there. It was a great move. I feel a bit sorry for Wright because he gets a start maybe once a month and it's huge pressure. You know, he never gets a run of games ever. So, you know.
Do you think that's something we need to fix, Stevie?
I just think it's unfair on him. You know, he'll get 45 minutes here on as a sub, but he never gets 3 or 4 or 5 consecutive games, which in that position is really important. I do feel a bit for Scott Wright because, you know, he has, in the past, he's turned up in big games for us and done really well. So, yeah, I was a wee bit surprised when I saw his name last night, but, you know, you're always hopeful he's going to pull it out of the bag, but, yeah, just wasn't quite on night.
Right, so,
sorry,
mate. You like to come in?
Hi, I'm going to. Sorry, Steve, I'm going to disagree with you, mate. On Scott Wright.
That's what it's all about. Bring it.
It's like, it's unfortunately, Stevie's like a lot of Rangers supporters, and when they talk about people like Scott Wright is a good dribbler of the ball. He's pacey. He's a defence's nightmare. But he turns into Dessers as soon as the final ball comes in. It's that Homer Simpson with the symbols, mate. He's another one. As soon as he gets into that box or anywhere near it, he always, 9 out of 10 times he'll pick the wrong ball.
Yeah, I mean, he did last night. I can't argue with that there. He did last night with that.
And the thing is, Stevie, he does that every single game. And as you said, he has turned up and got his goals on big occasions. But we can't rely on him. He's been given chance after chance for me.
When he's done that, though, when he has turned up, has he not been playing regularly? He doesn't play regularly now. That's kind of my point. You know?
I don't think he's played for us regularly since 2000 and probably 20.
Right, we'll quickly get into this chart, right? This is a momentum chart for a match. Gives you expected goals, how many shots you had. So Benfica's XG was 1.61, 14 shots, 4 on target. Rangers were 0.65, but it's 59% of possession, 12 shots and 3 on target. If you look at a graph, I would say Rangers have had the better of the match in terms of the attacking momentum. I don't think we got much momentum to begin with, to be honest. Stevie, I'll come to you on it. I don't really believe this chart's a true reflection on the game, to be honest, because I don't think we created many clear-cut chances. I don't think we actually imposed ourselves on the game. What's your thoughts?
I'd agree. Circle back to what Curry said. I thought the first 15-20 minutes we actually put a bit of pressure on them. A couple of decent moves down the right with Lawrence. But yeah, after that, everybody seemed to kind of tail off at the same time. And after that, it seemed to be Benfica just creating the better chances on the break. Again, like I mentioned using the chat, like the start of the second half, you've already said it, but game possession away. Like Looney was doing it in the first half, and then Lawrence just couldn't seem to make a pass at the start of the second half. And then Diamande did the same, and it was just, you can't do that in Scotland, never mind in like European football. And just giving possession away like so easily. And ultimately it cost us. I have no complaints about the game last night losing. I thought Benfica edged it and better team of the night. It was disappointing because we've beaten better teams than them in the last 2 or 3 years in Europe. So yeah, we got a chance missed, but I don't know.
Aye, fair enough. Corey, how have Rangers had 60% of possession on this chart? It clearly tells you that we've had more attacking momentum than Benfica. I mean, it's there to see, but Benfica's expected goals is literally 1.0 more. How's that even possible?
the way they set up, mate. But Stevie said earlier on, it was like a complete change for the first tie. They let us have the ball, and they just waited for us to make that mistake. And as soon as they had a game plan, and that was to just catch us on the break. Because I think their coaches obviously told them that we've not got very good pace in the back, and we get caught that way, and that's what we did 3 or 4 times as well. But the guys in the chat are saying WATP. It says you need to remember that Benfica are a Champions League team. That team is worth 3 times the amount of Rangers, right? They've got World Cup players in them. What Ian McLean says after it, just one of their players is worth the fully the Rangers squad. I think the guy's worth like 120 million euros or something like that. Yeah. That's just I don't know which one it is. I think it's that young boy, but I can't remember his name. Sorry. We were hopeful more than anything else last night because we thought we could do it. If we had a full team, a fit squad, I think we would have probably it's managed to beat them and get through into the next round. What we had, we were down to bare bones through injuries. Players were tired, and what you said earlier on, the creativity in the corners. So that basically kicked us in the backside for the match last night.
I agree. Sterling was a huge miss last night. His urgency, he would have made a huge difference. Wherever he played, he would have driven that team on further. So, aye.
His fitness and his athleticism were missed for me, Stevie.
Yeah.
That was the biggest part that was missed for last night. And Dujon Sterling had the potential to play as big a role as what Calvin Bassey did on the run to the final. I think it would have been that important. Because you can put a guy anywhere on the pitch and you're going to get a performance off him. Don't get me wrong, I don't think recently in playing on the right wing, I think you've kind of summed him up a wee bit in terms of that's maybe pushing the boat out a wee bit too far in terms of expecting a performance off him. But that's a small criticism, and he still scored for right mid against Benfica last week.
Sure.
To me, I look at like a daft OG that Goldson scored away last week. If he doesn't do that, then it's a different kind of tie. Because obviously we take a win and we come back to Ibrox with it, but
they would have to come against us, Scotty. They would have had to push, and that's when Rangers are at their best. It was just what WATP saying in the comments again. He said we had more possession against Motherwell and they beat us. That's why all these, you know what I'm like with things like XGs and charts and things like that. I'm not that type of fan. I'll discuss a game and what I see and what I think it is. You could have an XG of 25. It doesn't mean say you'll score 25. The only thing that matters is the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. And when you talk about XG, I'd love to know how they work it out. Like you have somebody like Dessers take a shot, and you have somebody like Ronaldo taking a shot. How do they work out the XG if they miss or they score? There's no way you can do that because it depends on the actual person, the player, I think. And I think that's something that XG I'll never be able to do. But anyway, I'm good after the wee tangent here. My usual.
I'm going to pull this up because WTP's had a good comment when he said, imagine if we'd seen Cortez, Danilo, and Sterling playing yesterday. And Ross made this up for our last pod. And I'm going to come back to it again. I mean, see if you look at that attacking line with Matondo and Sima on the right, you've got McCausland, Tay, you've got Cortez, Silva, Sima can play Tay, you've got Cantwell, Lawrence, Danilo, Dessers, Roof, who's back fit, who's not in that. Then even in midfield, Raskin, Diamande, Kieran Dibble, he's due to come back at some point. Ryan Jack, John Lundstrom. There's a hell of a lot of quality, and I think that's what's caused the Rangers our kind of last 16 place with Jinx, Stevie.
Well, 100%. I mean, when you rattle those players off there, I mean, that's some squad. You know, that's a cracking 20 players you've got there, really. We've missed the injured players. What an injury list it is. But just go back to what Curry was saying. I kind of agree with what you're saying about the stats. What is it? Was it Bob Paisley says there's lies? No, there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. I get what you mean. It's like you watch a game and you get a feel for it. I'm not writing off like the analytical stuff is good, but sorry, Scott, but yeah, you're right. If half of those guys had been fit last night, would have went through. And it's something else to keep in mind. There's only really Silva and Diamande who are Philip Clement signings. Everybody else belongs to the last manager. So the tunes getting at them quite amazing.
See for me, Stevie, we need to get his corners fixed. The corners is the biggest bugbear of Rangers just now. It's got to be the thing that's staring a manager on the face, surely. But
fine margins again. This is it. It's like
that's it. That's it, and that's ultimately what's cost us to lose possession. Then you can't let Benfica break against you like that. They're going to score.
No, they've got all the savvy in the world, don't they? Like you say, World Cup winners, players with 125 million buyout clauses. It's they're not kind of.
Aye, and they rested most of them at the weekend. There, do you know what I mean? They rested like 6 big players or something to come to Ibrox, and it's worked. It's worked for them. Right, so
we were scrapping about Leaf.
Right, so I'm going to bring up this wee form guide, right? Corey, I'm going to come to you on it. Right, this is one recent form since like the Aberdeen match, Neil Warnock's first match against us. And I think there's something like 12 matches out and there's 9 wins, or there's 11 matches and 8 wins. Can you see because we've got beat off Motherwell in the league, we're now getting knocked out of a Benfica. Can you see that having an effect going forward and confidence, momentum?
Not the slightest, mate. Nah. Has Benfica ever played? Come on.
I'm just talking about. I'm just meaning it like as in the squad as a whole. We were on these run of matches, and then all of a sudden there's this big stop. There's this big stop at Motherwell, and we look as if we've kind of stuttered since.
The Motherwell was just an anomaly. The players never showed up when they should have. I think quite a few players let us down that day. But that was a one-off. It's our first loss for when that mob beat us. So it's just a one-off thing. I think even with the players that we're missing just now, I think we should have enough to beat every single team in this league. We shouldn't have any problems. I've watched them many a time. They can play some decent football, but they don't look connected at all. I think they look quite disjointed. I don't know whether it's because of the manager or our players are not happy that Ange is left or what's happening over there. They're certainly know the team that they were there last season. For me, anyway, I can't see us losing any more games. I know people are saying that they can see us losing points. The only place I think it will lose points will be at the Irmidden. That's the only time I can see us dropping points because I think by the time that the game comes along, I think most of your players will be back. Our big players will be back. So I'm looking when we go over there to absolutely smash them at Ibrox. Everybody else, it should be a formality. There's no excuses, especially after a 2-week international break. That'll give them get their batteries recharged, get them up for it, and I've got no doubt that Clement will get the boys sorted out and get ready for the final run-in.
Right, Stevie, so next 4 matches in the league, I'm just going to stick with the league now, is get Dundee on Sunday, then we've got Hibs at home, Celtic at home,
and Ross County.
Ross County, aye. You expecting 12 points for that?
Yes. I'm confident, not quite to the extent that Curry is. Wish I was as confident as him. But it's a title running, and shocks will happen. 100%. Hopefully tomorrow St Johnstone does a favour. But I didn't really expect that. But yeah, I'm hopeful we'll get 12 points out of those 4 games. You'd expect so. But like I say, it's the first title running, like proper title running, about 13, 14 years. So huge pressure that neither club are really used to. And that can do funny things, so we'll see. But yeah, I fully expect us to win the next 4. And then I think we'll be looking at maybe Killie home, St Mirren away, Celtic away, Dundee or Hibs at home, and then probably Hearts away. So it's a few challenging fixtures there, One thing I'll say about Dundee, by the way, I was looking at their form. I was like, probably isn't real interesting, but they've only lost out with Old Firm. They've lost to St Mirren 2-0. Every other game they've lost this season, it's been by a goal. So they are competitive. I know we scalped them 5-0, I think, the last time up there, but we need to score early on Sunday. Just out the traps quick. Couple of goals, make it comfortable. But aye, 12 points, surely.
Aye, definitely. Curry, before we're I go back onto the agenda, I know I've been off a wee bit, but we're going to we need to get into this international break, right? How different are you expecting the squad to line up after that in terms of like when we line up against Hibs at Ibrox? Who are you expecting to see anybody back? Who do we need back? Who do we need back for injury?
Sterling, Sima, Danilo, a fit Cantwell. I don't think Cantwell was quite fit, although he played for 20 minutes. Obviously, he never started. I think they're the main ones that we need back. I think it will be all change. I don't think we'll see, unless Yilmaz gets injured, I don't see Borna Barisic getting another game for us. The back four, Tav will always be there. Always be there. I can still see some changes with Balogun, Golson and Suter. I think they'll get swapped out. I don't know if we'll see Davies again. In the midfield, the depth at midfield was probably Lunny and Diamonde. Hopefully Diamonde, I don't know why he was, whether he's unfit. I don't know how many games he played before he came here, but the last 3 games now he's not been brilliant. Certainly not the worst in the part, but he was certainly struggling last night. But we've got the likes of Raskin, who I thought did all right last night when he came on. He looked sharp, but compared to the rest of the team, it would be hard. So I can't really say. I don't know if that's a positive or not. We'll get Ryan Jack, but if Ryan Jack comes in, it's going to be once the blooming when needed, and I don't think he's about 3rd or 4th in the list now. Our front four is going to change. I thought Silva was really poor last night. Really, really poor. He lost the ball quite a lot, and he kept on getting trapped, running towards players. I don't think he had a good game at all last night. Matondo's not a right-handed side player. Matondo's played twice on the right-hand side, and both times he was garbage. I nearly swore for the first time there, mate. I think I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, actually,
he's not a right-handed. He's not a right-sided player. He's left-hand sided, and obviously that's like we've got that left-hand side. We've got like say Lawrence that can play there. He can play in the middle as well. He can play in that position. You've got Matondo, Sima, Cortez. That's another one I nearly forgot about. Hopefully Cortez. I don't know, was he out for the rest of the season, mate?
I don't know. There's rumours, but the fact that he's still here, he's had his operation here, from what I've heard, I think is a good sign that we'll maybe see him again before the end of the season. I
hope so.
Maybe it was just a big enough injury and the operation is going to fix it quicker. I don't know. I really don't know.
So and then we've got the striker position. We're going to have Roof that came back. Danilo's due back, and Desser's his 3rd choice striker for me. That's who we're playing. That's who we've been playing now for the last 3 or 4 months. Well, 3 months, 4 months. 4 months. 4 months now. We've been playing with our 3rd choice striker.
Right, so let's get in on him then, right? And we'll just all give our kind of opinion on him, like in terms of. I mean, where do you even start? Stevie, is he 1 good enough to be a Rangers player? 2, can we win a league with him as our 1st choice striker? And 3, should we have brought in a striker in January? And I'm not going to talk about Lawrence Shankland. Curry, you'll be happy to know I'm not going to talk about Shankland.
You just did. You said his name.
But I'm just wondering, should we have brought in a number 9? Is that going to come back and bite us? Stevie, take it away.
Time will tell me. I don't want to write Dessers off. I agree with pretty much everything you've both said about him. And I think he'll be at the team on Sunday. I'm pretty sure Roof will come in. But we go with him because he's what we've got. Curry's mentioned Danilo coming back there. He's not played football in 4 or 5 months. Sima, similar time he's been out. These guys are not going to be. I don't see them playing a huge part. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Sima plays, comes back and hits the ground running. But when you've been out for that long, it's very difficult to make an impact. So especially Danilo, he's been out longer. So I think who we're looking at, Silva, Dessers, and Roof. Hopefully Roof steps up. He's got 8 games this season to go in the league. Hopefully 2 in the cup. Maybe he'll do it for us. But we need more competitions. He's got to start finding the net for us because Dessers had a wee spell where he actually looked decent. But that's gone. And he looks short of confidence. And he's not really linking the play either. So, yeah, he's at the team now for me. I don't think he's good enough long term. We're not supposed to talk about him, but the guy you mentioned before, the Scotty, your number 1 Scotland striker, the pie catcher, he should be there hopefully next season. And
pie catcher.
We'll see. But no, I agree. I don't think Dessers is the answer long term. But he's what we've got, so we need to back him as much as we can. But yeah, out the team on Sunday, Roof in. We'll see how it goes.
Curry, do you in an imagination land we come back for international break and see him as back training with the ball at his feet? Do you play him through the middle?
No, I play him off the left, mate. That's where he hurted. That's where he's been playing his best. That's every time he played in the left, his link-up play with whoever was playing the either false 9 or the 10 role. That's where I think he probably played his best football. He did come inside. He offered something that we don't have at the team just now. On your point about the striking position, it's Stevie said, Dessers is what we're stuck with, unfortunately, and we just need to get on with it. Is he good enough? No, he's not good enough. We've been saying that for probably he was in the team after about a month. We could see there was problems there. Why we never brought in anybody at Christmas time during the winter break, we've already found out. We were told we never had the money, so we can't really complain. We just need to go on with it. As Stevie said, he hit a purple patch. Dessers will score for you when it's against a club that we should be beating. When we've got lots of possession and he's got 20 chances, he'll score at least one of them, right? But the thing is, he can't be trusted in the big games.
No.
The games that are going to be close, the things like cup finals, European games, against the hard sides like of that mob are a bit more to be closer to us than the rest of the league. They're the ones that he struggles with, and he's never showed anything that I've seen that, as Stevie said, I know his link-up play's not that great either. So for me, I would be putting in Riff the next until until Danilo's back. And as Stevie said, we don't know who we're going to get, because you remember when Morelos got injured, he came back and the boy was hoofing for months after he came back. He wasn't the same Morelos we got. No. So
interesting point about Seymour though. Just thinking there, like since he's been out, Ridvan's really come onto the game, and you look how well Ridvan linked up with Cortez. That could be something, that could be really good, like creative down that side. So, aye, fingers crossed.
To be Stevie, it's probably our most contested position now.
Yeah,
it's that left hand side,
right?
Because you see with Cortez, I think Cortez is what a talent that boy is. Hopefully, as you said, we get him in before the end of the season. Whether he plays a big role, as Stevie said, we don't know how big a role we're going to get with these guys that are coming back. So we'll just need to wait and see. But he's definitely one for the future.
See, quickly on Cortez, I heard Tim Vickery, he's like the South American correspondent at Talk Sport, and they asked him about Cortez going to Rangers, and he said he couldn't believe it. He said, I actually can't believe he's got this kid because he's so good. He said the only surprising thing for him was that Lons had binned him so soon. So obviously something's happening in the background, but he said absolute top player Rangers have got there. So aye, hopefully he stays permanently.
I think what it was with Cortez, Stevie, is Lons don't use wingers.
Right.
I think initially they try to change him into a kind of either I don't know, to try to turn him into a 10. They try to play him in that area of the park, and it's been too crowded for him. I think
Is Michael Beale their manager? Is Michael Beale their manager? No wingers.
Look at Curry. He's going to get off his nut in a minute.
I'm trying my best not to swear here, Stevie, right? I don't know if you've ever watched my pod, mate, but I'm not exactly child friendly, right? And you're getting me that close. Kyle never forgives Scotty for this if I go on one of my rants right now.
Since what you said about Tav, mate, I can't what you said about Tav. Especially this season, jeez.
Oh God!
Don't trigger him, whatever you do, please.
Talk to you off camera.
Hey, right, well, as I've completely been off topic now. Right, next season, if we're going to have an impact in Europe, this was Billy wanted us to speak about this. If we're going to have an impact in Europe, Curry, where do we need to invest in the summer if we're going to be able to fight on four fronts, per se? Come on, he's got a full summer to get his pre-season, get his own players in. Where do you want to see fixed in terms of starting lineup?
Right, before I go on, just I mean, Nicholas, you're talking to me. Morelos was never a prolific number 9 either. You're right there, mate. He was never ever, but he did play a lot of good link-up play. I remember when he gets switched about with his position, and he wasn't put as far forward. I thought he did pretty well there. Obviously, a love-hate relationship with him, especially the way he left. But I just thought I'd mention that. But I do understand he was never ever a prolific number 9. Mate, where do I start with this? God, the full squad, mate. Well, it happened now because there's no chance we could make that many changes. But 2 centre backs need to be looked at. The cover for the right hand side for Tav needs to be looked at. We need cover for the left hand side because Borna Barisic will be out. So Yilmaz, I would obviously keep Yilmaz. In the midfield, I think we're doing no too bad, but I think we're looking at the likes of Ryan Jack leaving, whether we keep a hold of Diamondi, whether they'll buy him out. He'll certainly need to. We'll see how he gets on now. Once he had a rest, whether it was just a wee bit, he was a bit lost his legs the last couple of games. Maybe that's the reason for his lacky performance. On the left hand side, I think we're fine. Obviously, I'm pretty sure we'll get Cortez brought in. Sima. It all depends if we can. When we win the league and we go into Champions League, mate, we need to buy Sima. It's a simple case. We'll need to make an approach for Sima. Right hand side, we definitely need somebody in that right hand side. We need somebody else. Ross should be fighting for the position, but he's no the boy to take us forward. We need somebody in that right hand position, and up front is a total change. We need rid of the 4 guys that we've got. Riff will be leaving. Dessers will need to try and sell on. Danilo, although I think he's a better option than Dessers, I still don't think he's prolific enough. The games that he has been in, it's been a couple of games he's not been that great. So somebody else would maybe be looking to sell on. And then Sam Lammers is obviously, I'm hoping he's having a good time over it, because I forgot that Utrecht. He's at, aye. He's having a good time over there.
What about Hadji? What do you do with Hadji?
Hadji? I always liked Hadji, right? A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Hadji back," but they need to remember before that injury, everybody was telling him he was absolute garbage. Yeah. He was struggling. He had no pace. He just wasn't doing anything. But the one thing he did do, he was one that definitely turned up for the European nights. He really thrived on the European nights.
I loved the stage. Yeah.
Aye, Stevie. So that was the one good thing. I've not seen a lot of him over where he is at just now. As you say, I think he's getting a hard time over there. Even his dad, I wouldn't be mentioning. I could be scared to hand his dad here and I went them off. To be perfectly honest with you, in a way, I want Hanji to come back, mate. I really do, just because just something I like about the boy.
He's got unfinished business, isn't he? He's got unfinished business.
I think that's what it might be, but I don't know what Clement will do. I've got absolutely no idea, but I'm pretty sure that the only reason that we never brought in number 9 is A, we never had the money, but B, I think Clement's already got his eye on players that he wants, and unfortunately for you, mate, Lawrence Shankland's no one of them.
Well, that's where I'm going to come in, and I'm going to completely and utterly disagree with you, because I think if you pull up any of Lawrence Shankland's heat maps and you compare them to Cyril Dessers, he plays out with the box. He's got that link-up play. He's got an eye for goal. He's scored against every team in the league, including us. He scored goals in Europe for Hearts, in qualifiers and in a Conference League. He scored important goals. He's like I said,
as well.
He's got everything. And he caught a pie. I mean, who doesn't want a striker that supports Rangers, scores goals, and he can catch a pie off a crowd? How class!
Wait a minute,
It's the Scottish football thing I've ever seen. It was just
I know, it's brilliant.
I mean, if
I'm actually pretty mad because I was always called the pie catcher, but for different reasons, right enough. But we won't go into that. I need to bring this pod to a wee bit. I can't be good all the time. Come on. No, Scotty, I'm not disagreeing with you, mate. I would have Lawrence in. I think he's a tremendous player, especially for this standard league. I think he'd be perfect. But I just don't think Timmy Philip Clement will actually want him. I think he'll have his own ideas.
I agree with that, but at the same time, what you said before, like the guys were getting rid of. How much did Danilo cost the club? Was it $4.5 million? I mean, that buys you nothing in Europe. Like $4.5 million literally buys you nothing. If Shankland's available at £2.5–3 million, then it makes perfect sense if you get him. You know, because England or Europe, you didn't get nothing for that type of money.
Stevie, see if you're going to replace, see if you're going to sell Dessers, Shankland's a clear replacement, and then you use Roof's wages and you bring in somebody that Neil Scottman's went and scouted for you, and he's your player trading model striker. It's as easy as that. You've got your proven goal scorer, Danilo will be floating about here, and you've got somebody that we can look to develop and sell. Yeah. To me, that's the way forward in the striking department. Corey, what do you think?
I'm not going to, as I said, mate, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'd have Shankland, same with Nicholas saying there and what Ian McLean's saying there as well in the chat. We should be buying the best Scottish.
Absolutely.
We should be looking at every single player. Look at a player that I didn't like, and the only reason I didn't like it is because I thought his name was only mentioned because who his family were. Right? Lewis, look, I mean, see, we can't afford him now. Apparently, all the big clubs there are looking to get him now. So he's well at the window. But if we got him, like say the same we Lennon Miller, I think he's 17 for Motherwell. He's supposed to be an upcoming prospect.
He's got a very good gait and he's got a lovely, lovely touch as well. He's a good fit player.
We need to be looking at players like that. I don't know what's been happening over the last few seasons. Well, a day for one reason, the managers that we've got, but the snobbery needs to stop.
Yeah,
we need to go. It doesn't matter what club they play for, whether it's Kilmarnock, Hibs, Hearts, Motherwell, Dundee, St Johnstone, any of them at all. It doesn't matter. Get their best. You're basically going out there and taking their best off them. Well, they work. Maybe not all the time, but you're going to get your money back. Yeah. That's the thing. As long as you get your money back, you can't say nothing. So, for me, I would be going out and I'd be looking at all the clubs, and I'm surprised that Rangers have not done that for a long time. I mean, the last player we've got was Scott Wright. Mm-hmm. As you said, Scott Wright did well when he first came. The team was a shambles at the time. But he's good. He's good enough for Scottish football. He's not good enough for Europe. We still need to get the guys in that come for our own league
Yeah, absolutely.
And also for our own nation as well.
Aye. All great Scottish, or not all great, but all like really successful Rangers teams with a good spine of Scottish players. Not like loads of them, but 3 or 4 that you would always recognise and say they're in. So aye, we've definitely missed that.
Definitely. For me, you need to go and get a boy Connor Barron for Aberdeen to replace Ryan Jack. You bring him in and half of wages, you develop him, you give him game time against games that we're expected to win, and you put him into a good player, and then you sell him on. It's a Scottish centre mid replacing a Scottish centre mid on cheaper wages, and it's a free contract. It's a no-brainer for me.
I think it's Scotty. I think it's like the old firm tax.
Aye.
I think that's what the problem is.
Aye, but he's a free transfer, this boy, is what I'm saying. Like, he's got a contract.
See, I didn't know that, mate.
Jack's got a contract, so it's just a straight swap for me. It's just
aye.
Do you know what I mean? He's going to come in and cheaper wages too. He'll not expect Ryan Jack's wages. Right, Curry, we're going to
that really quickly. James Fowler's a new head of scouting. That's a cracking. He was always a culture player, but like really decent football player. Like, had good vision. So hopefully that translates into the scouting.
Right, we're quickly going to touch upon Dundee. And I'm going to go to Curry's team first. Curry picked Jack Butland in goal, Tavernier, John Suter, Leon King, Ridvan Yilmaz, Dujon Sterling, Nico Raskin in midfield, Ross McCausland, Todd Cantwell, Rabbi Matondo, and Kamar Roof. Curry, have you fell out with Rangers or something?
Not the slightest, mate. I've as you'll probably see, everybody will be like, "What the hell?" I'm going full scattergun, mate. For the squad that played last night, far too many of them looked knackered, absolutely shattered. I just want to see. Put it this way, mate. The team that I've picked is good enough to beat Dundee. That's the way I see it. It's no the one that the manager will pick. I know that for sure. But this is the team that I would have because I want everything to get changed over, to get all the guys a rest. I know they've got 2 weeks to go, but I want to give them as much rest as possible because we've got a hard fight coming up for the rest of the season to get this cup and this league secured. So this is why I'm not even too sure whether Sterling will be fit enough. I'm hoping he will be. But as I said, full scattergun, mate.
Stevie, what's your thoughts on Curry's lineup? Leon King at centre back. Did you do it?
No. No. I mean, it's a decent team. That team could easily beat Dundee. 100%. I agree with that.
No, Leon King, Leon Balogun, mate.
No, Balogun.
All right, sorry.
You've got the right Leon, mate.
I put the wrong Leon in. Right, that's a bit different then. But
Balogun could breeze it, obviously. But, I always feel like post-Europe, like whenever we've played in Europe, played the weekend, I think we've always got that kind of, it's almost like a bounce. And you're going for a level which is way up, and then you're playing a kind of standard Scottish team. So either of those teams will win on Sunday, I'm quite sure.
Right, Stevie,
like you said, 2 weeks off after this, so just get out there, enjoy this weekend, get good 3 points, a few goals.
Just get a win. Right, Stevie, you've went for Super Jack Butland, Tav Goldson, Suter, Yilmaz, Lundstrom, Raskin, Matondo, Cantwell, Silva, and Roof. Why are you bringing Raskin in, if you don't mind me asking?
Because Lawrence and Dio need a rest. They were, like you said, they were blown after 40, 50 minutes that night. They need a wee break. I mean, bring them on in the second half, whatever, but Raskin could do with the minutes. Needs to impress. Cantwell was just back. It was such a pity he got injured there a month ago because he actually I thought he was looking his best, playing some of his best stuff since he came in. He looked really focused. I think sometimes he was a bit too flashy with an end product, whereas there he was really looking good. So hopefully he can get right back on that. Couple of assists, a goal, whatever. So yeah, that team's solid enough. And just Roof as a replacement for Dessers because we need something different up front, and he might get that wee spark. Hopefully I can link with Cantwell and Silva. And Matondo's just, he can cause havoc, so plenty there.
Gary, let me ask you about Ross McCausland, right? I know Ross has picked up an injury the last couple of weeks, but do you think after the Dundee game we need to start managing his minutes a wee bit more?
Definitely, mate. As I said, even next season, I think he should be there. He should be the one that's used as a in second position. He should be fighting for that. I think he's a crack me talent. I think he's got a hell of a lot about him. I don't think he's got the physicality quite yet. I know he's not like a young boy, but he's still at that age where he's developing. We should have a better player in that position. We need a good old-fashioned, proper right winger brought in.
Do you think you could maybe see Cortez in that side?
I don't think he's ever played after right, as far as I'm aware, mate.
Right. Okay.
I think it's always been either that is 10 or the left-hand side he's been used. You could correct me on that. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Stevie will know, but I don't think he plays off the right. I don't want to see any more of what we've had to do this season. We've basically had to swap players into positions that they don't play in. We've got the guy that we've got Sterling. He's played near enough every single position except number 9 and the goalie. That's the only 2 positions he's not played in so far this season. It's mental.
Yeah, there's a shout. Put him at number 9.
Mate, I would even have that. I would trust him as a number 9. He's a big physical laddie.
What?
Hey, I want to ask you one more question for a Paul Marley lineup. So, transfer window comes round this summer, and you've got the option of now. Remember, Rangers haven't got the biggest transfer budget, right? You've got the option of Silva, Seema, who are going to take up the biggest majority of your budget, and you've got Cortez. Corey, who are you signing?
Seema and Cortez, 100%.
If you only had to pick, if you only had one option to pick,
I think we'll have enough for 2, mate. But I don't know, mate. It's just honestly, mate, I can't say. I don't know.
Jim Mackay's asking do you want Willie Henderson to look at his boots?
Jim, aye, that'd be absolutely fine, mate. Aye, Willie Henderson, he'll at least there's one thing: a player won't go by him, half him in 2. I don't know, mate. I can't turn around and say, right, it need to be Seema because Seema's proved it. Cortez has just come in. He looks brilliant. He's not played enough games to say anything. Seema's already been fantastic in his scoring. So it need to be Seema, mate. If you put me on the cross, aye.
Right, cool. Stevie, what about you, mate? I'm going to go Cortez because he's almost like another version of Ryan Kent, and I'm hoping he's a better version of Ryan Kent. Just the way he carries the ball, he can skin a man, he's got a shot, he's got a wee bit of everything, and he represents the best value for me.
His end product looks really good. He's got that in his game. But, I agree, Curry. I think it'll be Seema, but at the same time, we might just extend the loan if he signs a new contract with Brighton or whatever. Possible Champions League football for them. He's not going to play in their team, so keep him at Rangers. So I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility. We get to keep both, one on a permanent, one on an extra loan. So we'll see.
Evening, Cammy. How you doing, mate? Right, so my lineup just quickly. I know we're nearly touching time now. I've got Jack Butland, the same back 4 as midweek. I've got Raskin and Lundstrom. I've got Cantwell, Scott Wright, Ravi Matondo, and Fabio Silva up front. I don't want to see Dessers and the Rangers start on Sunday. I'm sorry, I've had enough of him just now. I think Scott Wright done all right the other night. I think he probably deserves another start. Matondo, we need to start seeing more from. We need to start seeing more for him because he's too passive for me. He's not consistent enough. Curry, where do you go with Matondo?
Same left, mate. He needs more. He needs minutes. He proved that when he was given minutes, he did do quite good. As we all say, remember last year, everybody was wanting rid of him because he was that bloody awful. Then he came into a wee purple patch, and he actually looked half decent. But then Phil put him on the right hand side, and as I said, he's played there twice, and both times he was garbage. And then he played him there last night, and it was like, oh God, he never did much. He looked lost, especially coming back for injury. As I said, any players that are coming in that weren't playing last night, mate, are there for the minutes, and that's to get as many minutes in as possible for the going forward. As I said, I know my teams know the best, and the people that you and Stevie picked. There's a couple of players that weren't playing last night. They might not be our best players, but they should have enough to put Dundee to pasture. I'm going for a big score as always. So it's just we need minutes and the players that are on the fringe to get us ready for the next nine league games we've got left. A cup semi-final and then a final.
10 finals.
That's it. Right, so Stevie, thanks for coming on, mate. I'll let you say your goodbyes and get a wee prediction.
Thanks again for having me. It's been great fun. And
thanks for coming
thanks
on.
to everybody who's joined in and viewed. I'm going to give you two predictions. I agree with Curry. I think it'll be a few goals, quite comfortable, 3 or 4-0, or it'll be a fraught last-minute victory, pull my hair out, pull my beard out, gun off my head. Been absolutely knackered for the rest of my Sunday, but we'll get the 3 points either way.
Aye, fair enough.
Sorry, so 3-0 or 2-1?
3-0 or 2-1. I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory. I think it's going to be a comfortable 1-0 victory if there is a such thing. But I think it's just a case of getting over the line and getting them 3 points. Nothing else matters on Sunday, considering where we are. Right, Curry, my sidekick, my good friend. That's 3 pods we've appeared on together now, mate. That's the Gallant Few, Stanza Ibrox, and now Rangers Journal. Thank you for coming on, and please enlighten everybody now that we've got more than 2 viewers as to where everybody can find you.
Right, anybody that's in here, I recognise near enough every single name that's on here. I brought this channel out of mine, the Stanza Ibrox, because I just wanted to talk about Rangers, the club that I love, and it's no your everyday pod. It's a talk for my heart, the same as every other Rangers pod probably, but I don't hold back. As anybody will know me, it's not a child-friendly channel, so keep your minds away, please. But I'm the same as the lads here, Kai, with the Ranger Journal. We're just started out. We're trying to build up a wee community. The lads do a fantastic job. They've got a lot of guys in here that know what they're doing in that. I've not got there yet. It's just me and Scott. Well, what's that side? Scotty. I don't know if you remember the cameras are opposite my way. And Scotty that comes in quite a lot. And hopefully I'll get Stevie on. And we can see the real Stevie because I want to see when he misbehaves instead of behaves. I want to see if he's the same guy. need to find out if he's this professional and calm and the demeanour is fine there. We'll need to see if he's got a Curry side to him. But thanks for having me, mate. It's been brilliant coming on. To Kai, by the way, well done, mate, and Tristan and Scotty with me being here. I did my best. I've done really well. I don't think I scored once tonight, which is
no, you did, mate.
Which is absolutely mental. But it's been fun, mate. It's been a good laugh. It's been great meeting you, Stevie. Thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure meeting you, bud. And all the best for your channels as well, guys. You will go far. But say you started about 2 weeks after me, and you've already you've got more subs than me already. So well done.
You're going to tell folk the name of your pod, no?
I did. I think the Stanza of Ibrox. It's on there anyway. It's called the Stanza Ibrox. I did have a few names in that, but apparently you're not allowed to say certain things on YouTube. So,
okay.
So that was me. I was limited.
Right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Oh, Curry, you'll need to get your prediction, mate. You never gave us a prediction.
Right. I'm going to go for a 7-0 scudding.
7-0.
Yeah.
Jack Butland score now.
Aye. Why not?
Right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thanks again to my special guest, Curry, for the Stanza Ibrox, and Stevie for coming on. We'll be back on Monday at 6:30. Please like and subscribe if you like the content. And we'll see you all after, hopefully, another Rangers win on Sunday.